So I'm Joe Wittenberg. This is my wife, Katie. We've been at Hillside for roughly 2 years now. We've been married for 3.5, and we have 2 daughters, Leah and Ellie. And Leah's 2.5 now, and Ellie's roughly 6 weeks. We found out that we were expecting Ellie Christmas Eve of last year. Very excited to be expecting another baby in the family, and Leah was really looking forward to being a big sister.
We found out we were having a girl at 20 weeks, and 4 weeks later we had to go for a follow-up ultrasound just to get some extra pictures, and that's when we found out that something wasn't right, and they confirmed that she had a congenital heart defect.
It's one of her valves that was leaking.
They told us that she would need 3 heart surgeries. She would need 1 the first week of life, and then 2 more before she turned 1 year old, and that she would likely need a heart transplant at some point in her adult life. And so I asked the doctor, what are the chances that her heart will resolve as she continues to develop? And I'll never forget the answer. She said, this is not the type of heart defect that will resolve, and it can only get worse from here. It kicked off a change in the pregnancy. We went from being so excited and joyful, looking forward to this baby girl, to thinking about the pregnancy and having a lot of fear and a lot of sadness about what was going to happen with her. If we had listened and the story had stopped there, it would have been a pretty hard road to continue. But that's when the prayers started and people came around us.
Probably right from the start, it was, prayers for healing. She would be healed in ways we couldn't understand. And I think as time went along, as the diagnosis was more clear, the prayers became more specific.
We were trying to balance both, believing absolutely that God was capable and that He would heal her, and then also accepting if that's not what He chose to do, and preparing for her arrival if she didn't receive that healing. I think we learned a lot about that process, and it's something that we're still doing. We still have family members who we love dearly, who we've been praying for healing for years, and those prayers haven't been answered in the way that we had hoped or what we're wanting, but we're still holding both realities. And so this was another opportunity to I think practice that. There was just a ripple effect of we got on the prayer request here, and we got on prayer request lists with friends and with family, and we just got to the end of this, and we know that we will never know how many people were praying for her, that we were being lifted up, and she was being lifted up, and we know that God heard those prayers. And
I think just being plugged into a small group and being able to see the same people and just give the updates and the good news, and very, very helpful to have that tighter knit community too. So a lot of support from our small group too.
Yeah, every appointment we went to from after the initial diagnosis got better and better and better, and we were able to share the news with people, and everyone was so excited for us because we were just seeing answered prayer every step of the way. We were scheduled for a C-section, and my water broke a couple weeks before that, and so we headed to the hospital to meet our baby girl. And at that point, we were still expecting that she would need heart surgery, but the doctor was hopeful that it wouldn't be until after 1 year old, which is a big deal in heart surgery realm. We were also expecting a 1 to 3 week stay in the NICU to monitor her and see how her heart responded after she was born.
And after she was born, they did another heart scan. This was planned very shortly after, and so she was in the NICU, and they did a heart scan, and a pediatric cardiologist came by and basically said, I don't see a lot wrong. It's an odd looking valve, and it still looks odd. There's a small leak, but it's functioning very well. And this was totally mind-blowing because this was not what we were expecting. And we did another follow-up heart scan with her roughly a month after she was born. He basically said the exact same thing. She's looking functionally very well. I asked him, on all the intake forms for her future doctor appointments, should we mark congenital heart defect? And he said, no. And I was like,
That was beyond what we had hoped. That she would be functioning as well as she was an answer to our prayer. But to say that there's nothing wrong with her heart, that was incredible. People will never know how much they impacted us and how thankful we are. We're so thankful to Hillside. We're so thankful to God. And Ellie's heart wasn't the only one that was changed.